Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. I've spent a bit of yesterday and today going through many of my past notes and journals and notebooks just to see what stands out to me. I'm in this process of creating an outline for my first book. Just saying that statement out loud is a little mind-boggling, but I have this line here written in one of my oldest notebooks at the very start of this notebook. The top of the page says, "The start of my writing journey." And the first line is, "I don't even know where to start, but to start." Then it goes on to a bunch of stuff that I thought I wanted to write about back then. Because if I'm not mistaken, this notebook was actually from a time when I was writing a bit on Medium.com. I was writing on the platform Medium, and I enjoyed it for a little bit, and also realized that back then I didn't quite have my voice yet. I didn't know what I wanted to say or how I wanted to say it, so it was a very inauthentic feeling experience. Honestly, inauthentic doesn't feel like the right word, but the right word is slipping my mind. It just had to do with this feeling that I didn't know what was right for me yet, and that's fine. Maybe it also had to do with it not feeling completely vulnerable or real or close to my heart is maybe a better way to say it. But anyways, I'm going through this notebook and I'm reminded that this isn't the first time that I've wanted to write. I've had these limiting beliefs that I'm not a writer. I had those beliefs from around the time when I was in high school because I was never the best English student and I always much preferred math and the sciences. I had this belief that you were either good at one or the other, you preferred one or the other. You're either good at English and history or you're good at math and science. Because I was always more naturally attuned to math, I thought that's what was meant for me. I thought that's what was my path and what I enjoyed to do. And I see now that while I may have been good at math, and I may not have been great in the standardized version of English and history, it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate them and I don't value them and I don't enjoy them. I realize that there's so many different subjects, so many different topics that I enjoy. And in the past, I never really gave myself that chance. That belief held a set of blinders in front of me that blocked me off from that possibility. And it wasn't until after I left college, when I was really questioning all my beliefs, that I started saying, is that belief really true? Am I actually bad at reading and writing? Or is it something that I can start to practice now and see if I really enjoy? Since then, I've discovered that reading is one of my favorite things. It's not reading itself that I didn't enjoy. It's a lot of the topics we read about, or it's the whole idea of standardization that I couldn't read the things that I enjoyed. Not in school, at least. We were constantly told what to read and what to complete assignments on, and because I had a lack of interest, it showed up in my results. When I started reading for myself, just because I wanted to, and I found the books that I liked reading, I found that I loved it. And when I wasn't told what to write, and I could just be creative, I can just let whatever's in my heart and mind out on a piece of paper, then I loved to write as well. That was one of the moments where I shattered one of my old beliefs because from then on, I've kept practicing. This notebook I have here, I believe is about 2 years old. And I find it fascinating to see this example of me considering writing even back then. Just seeing the words, the start of my writing journey. Because back then it really was the start. I may be beginning a new project right now, but I see now that it's not the start. It's just another step. One day I see a world where I have many books written and I'm starting a new project, and I'll look back on this moment and the ones before and just appreciate the ladder that I've climbed, the mountain that I've hiked. I don't worry so much about if I'm a good writer, in the same way that I don't worry too much about if I'm a good podcast host here, because I do all of this first and foremost for me. I know that I get the most benefit from just creating. The art of creation, the practice of creation is so empowering to me that I just want to keep doing it. If I can provide value to other people by putting all of the many thoughts and beliefs that I have into words, into coherent and simple ideas to share and adopt, then I'll do that. It makes me glad when I can help the people around me or even help a stranger just by the words and the wisdom that I have to share. I also know that it's not the main way that I fill my own cup. It's not the way that I choose to uplift myself and build up my emotions. I know that I show up in the world in the best way possible when I've filled up my own cup first. And the easiest way to do that is to not rely on other people to do it for you. Yeah, if someone makes you happy, that's incredible. But if you're incapable of making yourself happy and you need other people to make you happy, well then you're setting yourself up for dependency. You're setting yourself up for a relationship or a dynamic that doesn't let you be alone. It doesn't let you create everything that you're meant to create. When you learn to fully love yourself, fully appreciate yourself, you unlock this part of yourself, this deep-rooted part of yourself that is the realest you. It is the most authentic version of you, and it's one that's usually guarded by the most fears, the darkest fears, the strongest fears. When you learn to love yourself, and you know that the love will never go away, that fear begins to lessen. It doesn't go away, but it does weaken just enough for that true version of you to shine. It may shine for just a minute, it may shine for just a day, but like with love and experiencing love, the more you practice, the more it grows. And the more it grows, the more you have to give. So at first it may seem hard for you to embrace some part of you that has never been embraced before. It's in that embrace that the path that you're meant to be on opens up to you. And it's a scary path. It's overwhelming at times. It's confusing at other times. And sometimes it's outright painful. I also know that the fruits of the labor on the other side are that much sweeter. I, like everybody else on this planet, only have one life to live. Why would I waste it on a mediocre lifestyle? Mediocre because I never truly explored who I am. I never found the opportunities that actually empower me the most. I don't see a point. I don't see the point of staying small within yourself. When I talk about all this, it's not to do it for anyone else but yourself. There's more out there for you. There's more out there for me. I know it won't come all at once, but I know I'm going to have a moment like this where I look back and I think back to episode 121 of the podcast. And I know that on that episode, I was talking about being who I truly am. I'll look back at this time and I'll be grateful because I know that there's still more pain ahead of me, pain that's worth it. So I get to keep going now and flip through the rest of the pages of these notebooks and synthesize everything that I've been thinking and noting down for the past 2-3 years of my life and to see who I get to become on this journey. Like I said yesterday, it's not about the book, it's about the journey. And this is the next step of my writing journey. So I thank you so much for being here. I thank you so much for listening or reading. I hope you have a soothing rest of your day and rest of your night. Remember to always fill up with the love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.